Hello, today I am going to show you how to make this cute miniature French vintage dressing screen. Just check the description box for the free pattern. And here are the materials that you need. So here I have already printed and cut the pattern using a cardstock. When you cut the pattern, make sure that you are using a new blade. This would make cutting easier and faster. So here I am going to glue 4 pieces together to create one panel. If you want to make it thicker, feel free to add another layer. When you glue the layers, carefully align them together and make sure you are gluing on the correct side. The pattern that I made is not perfect, so one side is different from the other. So always check which side fit before permanently gluing them. And depending on your project, you can create 3 or 4 sets of this. Once you have glued everything together and the glue is dry, use the pattern to trace on a 1.5 or 2 mm thick craft wood. We are going to use the wood as the back panel where we are going to glue the side molding or the pattern. And always remember to use a sharp craft knife to cut the shape. This will make your work easier and faster. And after that, you can sand the edges of the panel. For the curvy edges, wrap the sandpaper on a cylindrical item that is round enough to fit the panel. And keep sanding the edges of the panel until the wood fits evenly with the molding. So here are the panels and the molds all sanded and fitted to each other. Before I will glue them together, I am going to individually paint them. So for the moldings, I am going to paint it with a light cream color by simply adding white acrylic paint with a tiny bit of yellow paint. And I am only going to paint one side only since I will glue the other side on the wood panel. And then after that, you can let the paint completely dry. For the wood panel, I am going to mix white with a tiny bit of bluish gray to create a light bluish gray shade. And for this part, you need to paint both sides of the wood panel. And then after that, let them completely dry. This step is only optional if you want to create a rustic or shabby chic look on your molding. And here I painted the edges with a darker color than the base paint. I am not sure if you can see it clearly, but I am painting the edges of the molding with a lighter version of the wood panel paint. Before you glue the wood panel and mold, fit them first and make adjustments if necessary. Again, make sure that you are gluing the correct sides. And then remove any excess glue using a cocktail stick and press it down with something heavy like a book. Do this to all your pieces and leave them to dry completely. Next, you can manually paint the inner side of the panel, or you can print out a beautiful wallpaper which is abundantly free in the internet. Here I used a cardstock printed with floral wallpaper and cut it to the shape I want. The small roses on top is a transparent sticker which you can find in the scrapbook area of your craft store. Here's how it looks like after I glued the printed wallpaper and stick the sticker. So after you glue your wallpaper, seal it with a matte transparent varnish to protect the printed paper and also the sticker. To connect the panels, I used a washi tape. I also added glue to make sure they will not come off easily. This is the easiest version to make your dressing screen foldable. But if you like it to be neat and more realistic looking, you can always make hinges between the panels. Next, take your wood strip and cut 30mm long stick 8 times. Sand both ends and make it clean and even. Afterwards, glue them on the lower part of the dressing screen. The next step is only optional. It is not really necessary to have this, but I find that the lace completed the look of the dressing screen. You can also use different kinds of decorative material for the lower part of your dressing screen. And here's how it looks like with the lace already glued on the legs. And the last thing we are going to do is to paint them. So this is the final look of the French vintage dressing screen, and I painted the legs and the lace with gold, and I am really satisfied with how it turned out. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to click subscribe and get notified for new videos. See you next Saturday. Bye bye!